Okay, and he's back to have a look at this new, sit up a bit, have a look at this new Viking tour that I know is in my library because I saw it the other day, but I will have to skiddle about a bit to find it. I'll also turn HDR, I can't turn HDR off, I don't think. Hopefully it won't be a problem in this one, and hopefully you can hear me too. Doobie 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 doo. Did it start me in the same stream? Cheeky little monkey. Right, let's find the Viking tour. I can't do anything about that if it did. Yeah, this is the single most annoying thing about Google Stadia by a country mile. They really, really need to update their interface. I am not hearing any word on the street that is happening. Here it is. But what I will say is that I am hearing on the street that there are some big moves coming, big changes. All the naysayers, all the whingers, all the Google have dropped it, it's frozen. They're all going to have to eat humble pie very soon, and that's all I shall say. Well, I'll also need to change the title of the video. Hang on a second, it's not... We've finished Ragnarok, so we can't be calling it that anymore. This is the thing, another thing that gets me about Twitch. It doesn't give you an opportunity to... Right, so we're going to be now doing the Viking, we'll call it Ubisoft Viking tour. I haven't actually fired this up yet, so this is cool. But now that I've completed pretty much all of Valhalla, I think it's a good time to have a look at it. Viking Age, so it's age, not tour. Let's change that. There we go. Good, and I'll say that is done, and pop that down. There we go, and done. Awesome. I should hopefully have changed the title on Twitch so it doesn't confuse anybody. Yeah, man, watch this space, it's coming. Right, press the old A. Also, I was told the other day, which was lovely to hear by somebody that knows, that apparently my show on a Tuesday is one of the shows that the Stadia boys love to watch. And girls, of course. They are multi-gender agenda. Genre.
Hold, why do enable menu narration?
No, I don't. Stop it. Don't give me any of that old menu narration business. Quality or high frame rate? Well, we're stuck at 720 anyway, so let's go high frame rate. That's the downside of Shield. It seems quite dark, so we'll whack up the light a tad. There is no HDR on the Stadia on GeForce Now, so that's cool. And we'll hit X to apply. There we go. We're good. So if this is anything like the one on Odyssey and Origins, it's essentially a kind of historical... You actually go around, physically go around, but it kind of gives you a history of the period, which would be interesting. Why am I still in here? I've done all this. Oh, that button down there. Camera follow, yeah, on with that. Crouch action, that's all cool. Menu holder folder, whatever. Controller vibration, yeah, whatever. Oh, crikey, just let's play. Interface area calibration. Yeah, that's good. Language is good. Medium is fine. On we go. Next one. Ah, here we go. So we've got a game. We've got options. We've done those. We've got Rokk. Hi. Thank you, Rokk. Let's go for a new game then, shall we? I love this music, by the way. The full version of that is gorgeous. Ah, it's old Harold Bluetooth. I've used his devices. Now this is a fact. Here goes another one from the Rokk. The whole name of Bluetooth comes from indeed that dude, Harold. He was indeed a famous Viking warrior and that is where they got the idea of the name from, Bluetooth.
Hi, traveller,
because it was
and
developed
welcome
out of
to
Sweden or
Discovery
one of these
Tour
places.
Viking Age. Just like the brave Scandinavians who left their homes on longships in search of new horizons, a quest for knowledge and a promise of adventure awaits you.
No, I disagree actually, David.
For 3 centuries,
There is a big audience for
adventurers set
historical
sail
stuff.
in search of
I was
trade,
actually, you know, I
land,
just said my
and
daughter did
sometimes
archaeology
plunder,
at university.
changing the world forever in ways that can still be felt
Turned out a
today.
bit.
I
I really wanted her to write some scripts on stuff that I would narrate and put together, but she's too busy.
But there is much
And I've
more to
seen
be learned about
people
their
that do
rich
historical
and
stuff on
complex
YouTube,
culture.
and it's massive. People want to learn.
History will come
Yeah,
alive
absolutely, 100%.
through the eyes of those who live.
It's an area that I would
Norse
love. I was
merchants looking to
quite
make their
quite
fortune,
seriously thinking
an
about getting
Anglo-Saxon
into.
monk in
But I'm
search
no
of his
historian,
life's
so
meaning. And even
you know, I
King
may be an
Alfred
armchair
himself.
historian. But that's
You will
why.
follow their
Oh, thank you
deeds,
for
both
subscribing,
great
by the
and
way, buddy.
small,
That's really
as
sweet
they
of you. Thank you,
navigate their
mate.
eventful
Using your
time
Prime
in
subscribe.
places known today as England
But the thing is
and
that
Norway.
I say I would have to. I would
But
have
fear
done
not.
it if
Discovery
she would
Tour
have written
Viking
some
Age
stuff
is
for
a
me.
safe, combat-free
Obviously
experience
she's
that
got.
you can enjoy
I mean,
at your own
archaeology is
pace
essentially
and in your own
history with
time,
trowels,
tapping
to be
into
honest.
the years of research
I mean,
of
the
the
amount that
Assassin's
she's
Creed
had to
Valhalla
write
team.
and
Its
look into.
content has been crafted
Oh,
in
it's
close
mother-in-law. What's she
partnership
calling
with
me then?
renowned historians and
Hold on a second,
academics.
guys.
On behalf of the
Hello?
entire development team, we
How are you?
hope you enjoy Discovery Tour Viking Age.
Listen, I spoke to your
May the seas be
Yeah.
kind on your journey.
Your father would be happy to come to the farmer's company.
You'll be off raiding for months, not years. Shorter than your trade routes even. The farm and I will still be here when you return.
And return I shall.
You had better, or I'll come find you.
Trick, do you have any questions for me before I leave?
No. I'll take good care of Gunhilda's reputation while you're away.
I doubt she'll need help, but I'll be glad to know you're here all the same.
Come, Thorstein. The market waits for no man.
Coming, my love. I'm coming, Gunhilda.
Hey Raven, how are you, dude? Sorry, I had to go on mute there. The old mother-in-law called in. Hopefully you didn't hear any of that. Let's turn myself down there. It is, isn't it? It's my comfy couch view. I've been going on about forever how this is how I love to play. This is how I play 90% of the time. And I thought I should just rig up a camera and do it and do it from here. So this is actually Viking Age, the new tour that's just gone live on. This is me playing on Stadia. There you go. So this is why I've got all this rigged up. You see, without having to use Stadia Direct Stream or OBS or even a laptop. As you'll see, there's not one in sight here. I'm able to play Stadia and get my camera and mic in as well. So nobody else in the community is doing this. I'm always doing new stuff. Discovery sites and behind the scenes. So interact with discovery sites, the yellow ones or the gold ones, and then the blue ones behind the scenes, and check the learning entries to learn more about historical facts. So the yellow one's going to tell us this is representative of a village in, Sweden. The blue one is going to show us things like artifacts and stuff and where they found them and things. So that sounds pretty cool. We can have a little look at that, can't we? Let me just fire this up. Make sure that I'm not missing any chat. David says, hey, you don't need to be a historian with this AC tours. They've already written them. That would be a great idea. Yeah, true. You may as well just be a tourist, hadn't you? Discover them with your audience. And of course you can do it with direct stream as well. I would love to do that with my daughter, but unfortunately she's got a head now into doing this graphic design masters, so she's less interested in this stuff. So here we go.
Coddle him, my love. He's a grown man.
Stavanger was built as a natural coastal harbour in southwestern Scandinavia. While little is known as southwestern, I think that would be Denmark. While little is known about its history in this epoch, what is known helped to inspire key events in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Let's learn more. Oh, look at this. We discovered this chap on a leather sofa down to the east-west corner. Stavanger, it is said that the famous naval battle of Hafrsfjord took place near Stavanger in the late 8th century CE. The battle pitted, so that would have been, let's get my maths right here, 8th century is pretty much the time where most Viking activity took place in Britain, and it's also the period of The Last Kingdom, if you've ever watched that on Netflix. It's that kind of period. The battle pitted Harold Fairhair against a coalition, I bet he was dark, of petty kings determined to prevent the younger Jarl's rise to power. Among Harold's adversaries was a man named Kjotve the Rich, Jarl of Agda. He was the inspiration for the despicable Kjotve the Cruel, whose actions in Assassin's Creed Valhalla launched the player on a quest for vengeance. To create Stavanger in Assassin's Creed, the development team drew inspiration from the trade market of Kopang, which probably wasn't pronounced that way. Kopang, pictured here, is located near the modern-day city of Oslo in Norway. So there you go. Hide text, show credits. There we go, image credit. Ubisoft owns them. What else we got there? Show text. That's that one. I don't think you can zoom in. Let's go back to that one again. It's not a lazy boy, other than the fella sat on it, mate. It's just a very large. It looks small actually on the camera. It's actually quite huge. It's big enough for 3 people, but I'm equally quite big. I'm 6'2", so I look big on anything, to be honest with you. Now I'm just wondering, oh dagnabbit, if you can zoom in on these, because that would be really awesome. No, apparently not. Never mind. The other factor in all of this is I've set up this application to Zoom, not even Zoom, to multi-stream to YouTube at the same time as Twitch, but I haven't actually got it set up because, of course, I was coming here to do GFN only, and now we've switched across to Stadia, having completed Ragnarok. So hopefully this looks okay for you guys. By the way, we're looking for those golden or blue. There's a blue one. I want to find a blue one because we just did a gold one, and that was pretty cool. All about the location. So I want a blue one for things like artifacts or stuff about people, the actual people themselves. Because that's the thing about history that I love. It's actually the social history, not the kings, queens, and battles stuff. That bores the hell out of me. Let them have their own history, the elitists. Runes and runestones. Runes were both magic symbols and alphabetical characters engraved on stone. They created runestones. We'll have a little look at these. A nice little photo of one. The Old Norse run means secret or more esoteric knowledge, runes made up the Futhark, the runic alphabet. Each rune had a unique meaning. For example, the rune Wunjo, engraved on this little bloodstone, is the letter W, as well as the rune of joy and kinship. As with all written words, runes could carry memories and histories into the future. By engraving them in stone, the Scandinavians ensured their stories would endure. Runestones told a wide variety of stories. They could also honor people and events. Sometimes women would order a runestone engraved to commemorate the courage of their husbands and sons who perished in battle or at sea. So that was written by somebody in England. Certainly outside the US. How do I know that? Because the word honour is spelt in the English way, O-U-R, as opposed to O-R, which is interesting. Now, it could have been Canada, where Ubisoft are based. They probably may spell honour the same way. But certainly it would indicate that it wasn't written by someone in the States. There you go. And there is that runestone. Oh, wouldn't it be awesome to own some actual authentic Viking rune stones? Oh, I wonder if you can buy them. I suppose it just depends how many there are in the world, and of course that then determines the value. Oh, I would love that. It's like I always wanted like an insect trapped in amber from the dinosaur times. I've always wanted one of those, because like Jurassic Park, when you think those insects would have in their stomachs would be the contents of their last meal, which could be the blood of a dinosaur that they feasted on. I've always wanted one of those. They got trapped in the sap of a tree and then turned into amber. Yeah, of course. I mean, it would have been... Oh, no, here's a blue one. Let's see what these are all about then. Oh, this is actually about the design of the whole thing. Historical accuracy versus compelling gameplay.
Stavanger, as with many cities in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, is based on an existing city, also called Stavanger. To reconstruct it, level designers and artists used maps, pictures and drawings by archaeologist Jean-Claude Golvan as references.
Oh, see, that's what Becky wants to do,
for gameplay
my daughter.
Purposes. While not all the towns resembled Golvan's drawings, some iconic details helped give a Scandinavian signature to the towns and settlements of the game, easily recognizable by players. Narrow streets, docks, and a salient longhouse in the distance, they all incite exploration and the need for adventure.
Production insights kindly provided by brand artistic director Raphael Lacoste and assistant artistic director Vladimir Eskandari, Ubisoft Montreal. There you go, Raven. That kind of David, sorry, that underwrites that really. So yeah, you see, this is the thing she's doing. She's just completed the archaeology course and now she's doing graphic design. And I have a feeling she's going to end up in this kind of a world. And also she's incredibly talented. Her artwork is just stunning. Just really good. She's got such an eye for it. Just like her dad. So yeah, I like the blue ones. They're cool. You get to see some of the set designs and maybe the character animations and stuff. We should actually be walking around with the tour. Sorry, mate. As you were.
Slaves talk, Gunhild. If he returns to his family and says we mistreated him, I might find myself in a duel.
No duels until you've worked on your swordsmanship.
I'm sure to get practice on this expedition.
You know what always amazes me as well is when you think about it, let's just turn it down a bit. When you think about it, in order for us to exist today in the world means that we've had ancestors that go back to the dawn of time. You have to, genetically. So, to think that our ancestors were around. And the thing is as well, David, where you are, very much the heartland of Viking territory. Almost, if you've got a lineage that goes back from that, in that area, it's almost 100% guaranteed that you will have some kind of Scandinavian blood in you as well. But they were all traders. The whole attacking Vikings thing was just a short period around the 8th century, but they were coming over and trading with us for hundreds of years before that. Yeah, marrying and interbreeding and setting up communities in both directions. Particularly if you go pre-Ice Age, when a lot of the water wasn't here, and you could literally walk across to Central Europe.
I will. Fortune guide you, friend.
Yeah, almost certainly, mate. The Gorti, or Lawkeeper. So we have to press this, apparently. What does that do, then? Oh, I haven't looked at the map. So what's this number 4? Into the west. In a race against time and the elements, Thorstein and Gunhilda must gather the final people and provisions, and a new navigator for their journey across the sea. So we're... Oh, wow. So there's a whole bunch of Norwegian stuff. 4, 3... And then we go across to the other countries where the game is set, which obviously is England, Ireland, Wales, Scotland, France. Although at that time, no, there would be different countries within the countries. So there we are down here. Very good. Plenty to investigate.
Have you not been happy here?
No, you're all good, mate. I'm going to be coming off in a second anyway. I've got to finish up for the day before the company closes down. I check in, make sure everybody's okay, and see where we are. In 864 CE, Common Era, many small kingdoms laid claim to the western coast of Scandinavia. They struggled for wealth and power, and many sought to control a valuable sailing route, the North Way. But you can see there, A is obviously the coast of Scandinavia, and B is the coast of Scotland. And they were going backwards and forwards all the time. There it is. A cargo ship following the North Way would leave the Oslo Fjord, cross the Skagerrak Strait, and enter the North Sea. It would then hug the Atlantic coast to the North Cape, eventually arriving at the White Sea. To maintain power, kings needed to keep wealth flowing to their allies and followers. Controlling part of the North Way could help a king keep the riches coming and keep his followers happy. These holdings allowed the young King Harold to dominate the trade route and rise to great political and social power. This map depicts the estates held by Harold Fairhair along the North Way. So A is the Norwegian coast, and that number 1 is Ligra, 2 is Seim, 3 is Herdia, or Herdla, 4 is Alrekstad, 5 is Fitjar, 6 is Avedsnes, 7 is Utstein, and B, which is underneath here, the British Isles, which of course is showing you pretty much Scotland. Artistic map of the Vestfold, Norway, depicting the royal estates of Harold Fairhair along the North Way in the 9th century, owned by Ubisoft. Awesome. So they go white after you've read them. That's good, because otherwise you wouldn't know what you'd completed. Down the North Way. So many words in the English language, and therefore also reflected elsewhere wherever English is spoken, emanate from this part of the world. Dotter. See if you can see if you can recognise any. Dotter, Ruder, and there's words that we use today that are absolutely identical to the words that were used. So much so, if you watch, as I like to, any Scandinavian TV, there's plenty of it on Netflix. Put it on the original spoken language with English subtitles, and you'd be surprised how many words you'll pick out that are so similar to the words that we use today.
I can't believe he'd betray me like this.
You haven't known Mikkel that long. He has to protect his own reputation first.
Not him, Bjorn.
Ever since he joined ABBA...
About your trades like a wild dog. He envies your success and wishes to take it for himself.
Well, we won't let him. We've worked too hard for him to take this chance away from us now.
Of course, like everywhere in the world, it's not always snowy.
I swear it.
Certainly is in the winter, though. Never been. I really want to go. There's so many places outside of the Mediterranean, which seems to be where I've always gone in Europe, that I'd love to go to. This is the shop in the game, I think. No, there's no shopkeeper here. Awesome. This is great. I'm going to have fun with this, going around and reading out the stuff. I'm going to do what you've suggested, David, but I'm not going to make a big thing of it. But you should definitely do a channel around history and gaming and stuff. Why not? Sounds like a good plan to me. Daily life. Medieval Scandinavians enjoyed games and activities in their free time. These sports were not played just for fun. They were a chance to hone their participants' tactical cunning, mental fitness and physical strength. Well, he was talking about Bjorn. Indoor board games were often strategy contests like chess or checkers. In the game, Anyway, or Taffel, one player controlled a king and his personal guard. Looks like it's made out of bone. That's called scrimshaw, I think, when you carve stuff out of bone. Scrimshaw, I think that's correct. He had to survive against the other player's group of attacking pieces who were placed around the four sides of the board. The chess piece used in Taffel was made from a bone. Pieces could also be made from other materials such as wood, tooth and walrus ivory. Actually, that's probably ivory by the look of it there. Outdoor sports were very physical and competitive, requiring strength, endurance and agility. One activity was the glima, a form of wrestling with no holds barred. In the glima, each wrestler had to struggle to keep his opponent pinned to the ground. Medieval Scandinavians also loved to ski. There you go. There you go. Good old Scandinavians. So, Happy Cloud Gamer, my good friend Martin, in the community. He's actually from Norway.
Even warriors get some playtime. Indeed, it seems that Vikings played board games that involved throwing small objects, such as carved wooden figures. However, the team couldn't find any clear rules for these games. But all hope wasn't lost. The developers of Singapore, Chengdu, and Montreal studios all came together to invent new rules and mocked up their prototypes in a tabletop simulator.
Joe, I never played that in Valhalla.
Probably got really angry when one of them won and the rest lost. Everyone on the team could experience and enjoy the evolving versions of the Orlog 2.0. A first physical prototype was also made, using real dice that were painted over. The game of Orlog was reborn. And AC Valhalla's version of the Orlog was so loved by fans that Ubisoft partnered with Pure Arts to produce real-life Orlog sets.
Nice. Well, yeah, that was the one part. I'm not massively... I don't like board games in real life. They bore me. It's all in the name. But that looks really cool, though. Look at that. It's got that beautiful wooden box with Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And then those rune stones and the various bits and pieces. I bet that's pretty cool, though. I'd love to... I mean, no matter what, wouldn't you just love to be given that by somebody as a present? I wonder how much they are, or if they're even around anymore. Yeah, that looks amazing. Very good. Hope you're well, Ron. I love Ron's irreverent comments when he turns up in the chat. They always make my day. Right, where next? Over here. Got to come over here, look. 120 meters in this direction. Let's scare this dude. Ooh. Why did he suddenly splash? Oh, there's those pigs again. Having the time of our life. See that girl. Watch that scene. Digging the dancing. Oh, here he is. Oh, mate.
What falsehood have you been spreading about my family's honor?
Nothing but the truth. This sail your wife made, that you sold me, is as rotten as your intentions. You wish for me and my men to drown on the open ocean, where our bodies would never be found.
This is Bjorn.
Are you a fool? Even if I
It's bigger than the one in ABBA, though.
stranded and sail west alone,
They didn't do a very good character
He
representation.
would make me rescue you, and then we would all be doomed.
I don't claim to understand you, Oathbreaker, but your methods are plain. I believe I'll go inform Harold of your duplicity.
Your
He should be arriving
duplicity?
in a moment now.
Well, that didn't work out too well, did it? You should have just given him his money back. Your dodgy sail.
My love, that is no work of mine.
I know. This was done by a hand far coarser than yours. Bjorn is trying to sabotage my place on the expedition.
You cannot let him accuse you in front of the assembly. No chieftain would ever take you on again. I will not see my parents starve because of Bjorn's lies.
Well,
Then I must gather evidence and bring his falsehoods to light.
I will speak with the wives.
this is
to
a
rally
crime
them
and
to
a
our
half
cause,
taking
and I will
place.
pray to the Haminja for guidance.
Our ancestors will give you wise counsel, I'm sure of it. I'll see you outside the
Oh,
assembly.
crap. Oh. Tear it down.
With thee, my love.
If I were an impulsive oaf, why would I hide a sail?
Odin's sight. An impulsive oath. Let's examine the old
Came
sail.
from not far. No local wares there.
That was him. That was his little examine. Where else? Oh, just had a message from Young Lives versus Cancer. Don't read that in a second.
Tell me, did
Yes?
Bjorn accept any wares these past few days?
Surely he did. I carried them myself. Wet and nasty they were, smelling as if they'd been stored at the water's edge.
Did you happen to see what was inside?
No, but it had that damp sheep smell. Wool, I
Mate, you're going to
suppose.
catch a death
Thank you,
cold
my
in that
friend.
thing. Right, on we go. Actually, it's an examining thingy. The Felag of Fellowship. A Felag was a legal, social, and business fellowship formed by two or more people. Members of a Felag often became trusted companions. This is interesting. What's this then? The English word fellowship came from the word Felag. Felags were formed by a number of reasons, including building a boat or funding a sea voyage. A married couple could also be referred to as felag. As a felag. We fell out. A felag was like a second family. Each felagi, or member of the fellowship, protected his companions and their interests. If a felagi was killed, one of his fellows would avenge him, take care of his funeral arrangements, and honour his memory by immortalising him in a rune stone, which must be this thing. This rune stone was erected by 3 surviving members of a felag to commemorate their partner, whom they called the most unvillainous of men. Oh, bless them. Yeah, look at this. The Aarhus Stone 5 in Denmark. 970 to 1020 CE. National Museum of Denmark, Copenhagen. Wonderful, wonderful Copenhagen. Beautiful maid of the sea. Oh, what have we got here? Character unlocked. Gunhilda. We haven't unlocked characters. Actually, I haven't been up here at all. Ah, these are the different places. So we've so we've done all of them in number 1, and then we go through to the others and on. And there's your codex, and next up is the characters. Thorstein and brother Elric. That's very nicely done. This very nicely done. Right, I think I'm going to call it a night at that point. For those of you that have been here for a little while, I did stream for quite a long time Valhalla Ragnarok, and to completion actually finished it off, which is good. And then we had a quick look at this over on Stadia. So I'm going to end the stream, go and sort out some TCB, as Elvis would say, take care of business. And then grab myself some dinner. And while the wife's away, I'm having a curry. The only thing is she made it, so it's not really that big of a deal. Cool, right. Well, thank you very much for watching. David, thanks for becoming a member. It's very kind of you, my friend. And I'm going to hold this little button down, which will stop the broadcast. Take care, everybody. See you soon. Bye.